It feels like only yesterday we were starting the season. In fact, it was Monday we were starting the season, if you want to be pedantic, but today is going to be pivotal here at Esteghlal. And I know what you're thinking, Jack. We've been here before. You talk about the importance of it. This is a whole new meaning of importance. We are at the halfway point in the league season. We are actually ahead of Zob Ahan right now. They slipped up recently. If we were to win this opening game, we'd go 4 points clear at the top of the table. That would be massive. But it's not just as simple as Zob Ahan today, because as well as playing them away from home, we've got a game just a matter of days later against Tractor in third. Win these games, we are very close to 1,000 miles and potentially getting that step closer to Premier League glory. Lose today's matches, well, I'm probably stuck in Iran for even longer. We're going to need to win today. Yes, folks, how is it going? And a warm welcome back to Esteghlal Football Club. It is the Journey Manager, and I'm sorry that we're playing Zob Ahan today again, but let's be honest, they are the big bad of the save game at this point. Since last episode, just 3 matches played. I'm going to catch you up on those. After that, play 2 games live, and then I think I'm going to just play another month off camera, come back and kind of set things up for how the end of the season is realistically looking. First things first, let's talk about the matches since last episode, which kicked off with this one here. Shamsazar, who of course we just lost to in the cup last episode. We played them a matter of days later, we won 3-0, and it leaves you scratching your head thinking, why didn't we do this in the cup? After that, we had the small matter of a game against Aluminium Arak. I don't know if in Iran they say aluminum like Americans or aluminium. I assume they say aluminium just because Iran, USA, there's a relationship there, isn't there? Anyway, in this game against the team in 5th, we won. That there might be the scrappiest goal I've ever seen in Football Manager. Gorbanpur wheeled away in celebration, and well, we'd get another one later on in the second half. Yeah, we won this game 3-0. This was a really difficult game on paper. Gorbanpur's goal-scoring antics were the ultimate difference maker. As, well, I think it's safe to say we deservedly won against another one of those teams really up there in the league table. And of course, last episode we won 7-0 against Persepolis. Not exactly the most likely result to replicate, but we did win another game 7-0. Granted, our chances against Malavan were buoyed by a sending off in the 66th minute. A flurry of goals later on in this game capped off a dominant display, and stop me if you've heard this before, Zorin, man of the match. 15 assists and 7 goals in 16 games is just absolutely ridiculous for this guy. I don't know what it is that makes him so good in Iran. I do wonder if it's just his pace combined with really good technicals kind of in the wider areas. He's kind of just the perfect winger. He has been different gravy this year, and of all the foreign players we've got in our team, he really is the match winner. But anyway, it has only been 3 games since we were last here, and with this save game, I have been keen to kind of progress through things quickly, but as I've kind of mentioned, today's matches just feel so pivotal, given the fact we're no longer in the cup. We have to come back for them today. Win this first game, we can move far clear. Granted, lose today's game, there's a whole new kind of set of pressure, I suppose, on the game against Tractor. Zob Ahan, of course, have that media prediction of first. As I already mentioned, they actually lost against Nasaj recently. Nasaj, of course, our bogey team. Maybe they're Zob Ahan's bogey team as well, because they got beaten rather convincingly here. This is evidence, if they ever needed any, they are not impenetrable. And well, it has been a little while since the last game. We've had plenty of time to rest up our players. I've just noticed here, Wellington Paulo is out. In some other team news, Mark suspended for today's game. So yeah, well, without Mark, who, let's be honest, has been a really dependable option at right back for us. And the other man missing today, who's important for us, is Abassi. Probably our most creative centre-mid option. Granted, we do have a fairly decent amount of talent in that defensive and kind of centre-mid position. Sultani, I think, is the obvious player to come in and step in and play as kind of that deep line playmaker. Of course, if he was injured, we do also have Niamsi, or maybe even someone like Al Asaraf, who, granted, I've not used as much this year, but this guy was our backup centre-mid last year, who I think if I needed to call upon him, he could maybe do a job for us. I mean, for this kind of game, I don't want to have to call upon him, thankfully. But in terms of the team, we are in a pretty good spot. It is going to be Mokhtari filling in that kind of inverted wing-back position, which somewhat works because he is left-footed. The rest of the team, though, is at full strength. There is lots of these green links forming between all our players, which is quite delightful. And while away from home, we need every little edge we can get. Good luck out there. We're going to need it. I don't know why I've clicked that option. It seems like an awful option to click. Fortunately, though, players haven't reacted too badly. Look at that. Lots of green. That's what we want to see. Zobahan looking like they're going to run a 4-3-3. They've got a man in the centre of the midfield here who's from Djibouti, who's absolutely insane. How much do they spend on this guy? 4.6 million. Imagine having 4.6 million in Iran. I do wonder if I was to win the league this year, and I'm definitely getting carried away, but if I was to win the league and then they sacked their manager, would I go and take the Zobahan job and try and get another 1,000 miles for winning the league with a different team? It'd be a bit kind of glory supporter-like, wouldn't it, to just go and do that? But it's a possibility with the format of this save game. Granted, maybe we should focus on the task at hand here, as we are going to have a chance. Niamsi heads it goalwards. Garibi was under it. It is dealt with. Zobahan, it's worth noting, I don't think they're one of the bigger teams in Iran in real life. Obviously, in this save game, they've had a tycoon takeover. In terms of stadiums we've been to, it's certainly not the most imposing, which maybe plays into our advantage. I think there was a foul off the ball there, but Gorbanpour's in behind. Gorbanpour, has Gorban scored? Has the linesman flagged? The linesman's flagged. I did see him weasel away at the top of my screen. Flag was raised. It's not going to count. Positives, we created a chance and Gorbanpour scored it. Negatives, they are on the attack now immediately from the resulting offside free kick, and that was a little bit scary. Good save by the keeper. I'm going to shout some words of encouragement. As well, it is end-to-end stuff early on in this game. Apparently, we've had one shot for an XG of 0. That doesn't feel great, does it? I mean, truthfully, knowing that we're ahead, because they slipped up recently against Nasaj, there's part of me that wonders, would a draw just be satisfactory here? Granted, I suppose just building up a cushion would be good. I know that we've got Tractor to play in the next game. They're in third. They're a really good team who aren't actually that far behind us either. So we need all the points that we can get. And whilst this isn't a game that at the start of the season I would have bookmarked and said, that is a 3-pointer that we should be looking to win, given the situation we find ourselves in, it feels necessary for the title to get all 3 points here. Goudazi fed it by Big Larry. Big Larry, what can you do? The youngster at left-back gives it back inside to Goudazi. Of course, he joined us on a free transfer after a year without football. And I think it's safe to say he's been welcomed back by the world of football. He's played superbly this year. Speaking of which, he wins ahead of there. Gorbanpour chests it down the first touch. Let him down for just a moment, but we're continuing to build up pressure, and it feels like we're just one pass away from unlocking their defence. Hani, could you provide that unlocking pass? He drifts wide, Gorbanpour's in the middle. Can he look to pick him out? He tries to. It's an awful clearance, the header just wide. Time has flown by in this half, by the way. There's only a matter of minutes left of this first 45. It is going to be 0-0 at the break. I'm going to tell the players I'm far from pleased. I'm actually kind of secretly quite pleased with what we've done there. I'm thinking, do I want to make subs at half-time? Zorin's been quiet. Goudazi's not the best of games. Gorbanpour's on a booking and a 6.4. Granted, when he did have that one breakaway chance, he did put it in the back of the net. I'm thinking about the subs I want to make here, as we're already 10 minutes into this second half. They are on the offensive here, whipping it back post. That is a mismatch there. The header goes over. It's weird. I'm sat thinking Gorbanpour's on a booking and really hasn't had the best of games today, but his goal-scoring record, 14 goals in 16, is kind of just hard to ignore. Zorin has been uncharacteristically quiet. Mortazavi, when I brought him on off the bench in recent games, you can see here, he's played really, really well and got assists. I think I'm going to bring him on. And part of me wants to take off Zorin. Part of me knows that he can just be a match winner from absolutely nowhere. There's some players, and I think this is a really important thing if you play Football Manager. There are some players that you'll have in your team that have bad days, but you keep them on for that one moment of magic because you think they can deliver. Zorin is just that guy in the team for me. Niamsi's not been at his best. You know what? Vasey in at defensive midfielder feels like a sensible change for now. I'm only going to make the 2 subs. I'm kind of eagerly keeping an eye on Gorbanpour, wondering if we can get something more out of him. Shouting some words of encouragement here as well. The second half continues to tick by. 22 minutes left. It's Karga at the back to Mokhtari. That is not good play. What are we doing here? Hashemi in behind. Sloppy pay. Hashemi blazes it over. Was that blocked or was it saved? I didn't even see the keeper get a touch. I guess it was blocked by the defender. That was Mokhtari, who's a bit of a makeshift inverted wing-back, dropping into the middle, kind of losing the ball in a position where, well, it didn't feel too good to watch him lose it. In fact, I'm going to make a change. based on that. I feel like Mark is good enough that when I play him as an inverted wingback, he doesn't make that kind of mistake. Mokhtari's not very good with the ball at his feet. Maybe I'm asking for trouble, asking him to invert, so we'll just play him as a fullback on support, just to hopefully contain their wingers, because there will always be that wide player sticking it out, maybe looking to find that space that the inverted fullback kind of vacates. Anyway, there is only 10 minutes left here. I've shown patience with Gorbanpour. That patience has run thin. That is the wrong player coming off there. We're going to take off Gorbanpour and bring in Yaramadi. Alasaf as well. I mentioned the fact last year he was a real dependable option for us. We're going to try and depend on him here. He's going to come on for Hani, who's been pretty quiet by all accounts. Going to tell the players I've got faith in them to make a difference. If Yaramadi now scores, that is due to the genius of that little extra chat I had with him. Anyway, there is just over 6 minutes left in this game. It's not been a classic. It's been a cagey affair, but a late goal either way could decide this fixture. And unfortunately for us, it's Zobahan with space through the middle. And I'll tell you what, Salavand was just given so much space to operate in that when you invited the long shot, he has punished us. You can just see here, he's just got this little pocket of space. It's frustrating because, to be honest, we've been pretty good in this game. We've gotten toe-to-toe with them, but a bolt from the blue from range has, well, hit us hard. I was about to pause and make changes. There's a kickoff highlight. Let's see if we can respond immediately. We did it once before in the cup against them, didn't we? In like the 118th minute where we got a late goal against them. We need to repeat history. Garibi gives it to Mortazavi. Can he find a man inside? He can. Vasey with some space. Finds Sultani. Played through. Zorin in behind. Moment of magic. He hits the crossbar. I thought what I said earlier was about to manifest itself. He was offside anyway. It says in the bottom. So it wouldn't have counted. I thought for a moment we were about to get a moment of absolute magic. Anyway, we've got to change things up here. We've got to go for this game. So I'm going to commit players just a little further up the pitch. More to Zavi. Go and attack as well, son. At this point, we might as well go very attacking. I want us to get it to the flanks if we can. Out of possession. I mean, we're already pressing as hard as we can, but get stuck in, step up, in possession, pass into space, hit early crosses. We've got, what, 4 minutes to try and make something happen here. There is instantly a highlight beginning. This could be me being a genius, or it could be us getting exposed on the counter-attack as we commit men forward. Davudi for them, steps inside. Little jiggle, Haidari stops it. And, well, yeah, with our fullbacks now committing forward, there is going to be that space for their wingers to look to hit us in. There's 4 minutes left here. We've got a corner. The goalie is forward for it as well. It's whipped in. It's cleared away. Zorin's going to keep it alive. The keeper's running back for us. Yaramadi, I gave him that talk earlier. He gives it back to Big Larry. Can Lazar do something magical? Vasey. We've got so many players forward here. Look at how many men are on the last kind of line of defence for them. Zorin plays it in. It's half-headed away. Big Larry blazes it over. I really want Big Larry to be a hero. I thought that was about to be his moment. He fluffs his lines, and that, unfortunately, is going to be that. It finishes 1-0. And that was a game of really, really fine margins. I mean, if nothing else, it shows that we can go toe-to-toe with what is inarguably the best team in the country. They won the league last year by 12 points. With that result there, they now go 2 points ahead of us. I suppose the scary thing for us now is our next game is against Tractor. Lose that game, we will drop down to 3rd. And that game that is 6 days away is away from home. Scary. Now, it is worth noting, the transfer window is opening on the 16th. I don't think we're going to be doing much in the transfer market, regrettably. I'm over the wage budget due to new contracts that I've renewed on certain players that I just need to keep around. There is no transfer budget to spend either. So you know what, we'll get to the Tractor game, and then what I'll probably do is I'll play through the month of the transfer window off camera, come back at the end of things and give you an update as to where we're at. It's tricky with YouTube save games. You know, I want to keep the progression of this save game going, and I'm acutely aware that between this episode and yesterday, there was only 3 matches. I feel like we should plod on a little further today if we can, but not before this big game. Tractor, hopefully not going to plough our field. Hopefully we're going to turn up and rob their barn. Let's see what we can do. I don't know what that metaphor was. That was awful. Okay, well, look, the transfer window isn't open here in Iran. It's open elsewhere in the world. We've been having interest in our players, which I am fending off. Mortazavi. I feel like I've not uttered his name as much this year, but he has been our kind of dependable super sub option who continues to improve, attracting some pretty big interest from teams in Serie A and even Tractor. I'm definitely not selling him to a club in Iran. I've rejected a bid here of £165,000. That's not the biggest offer I have rejected recently, because Hani, as you can see here, a bid of almost £500,000 made for him if we factor in clauses. But again, just another player I'm not prepared to sell midway through the year. 9 goals for him in 16 games. Bizarrely, last year he played as our striker, albeit as a false 9. Didn't get a lot of assists, didn't exactly get loads of goals. He's already surpassed last year's goal tally playing at centre attacking mid. And, well, I would be significantly weaker without him. Anyway, no other dealings going on at the moment, thankfully. A little bit scared that the board might start to accept bids over our head, given the fact the overall balance is trickling down. And as already mentioned, the wage budget has got lots of big red scary text. I suppose it's a good job we're doing as well on the pitch as we are, because the board feedback is an A+. I'm not working within the wage budget. I'm not growing the club's reputation. I'm not developing players using the youth system, and I'm not repairing the financial damage. But we're doing well in everything else. So A+. There's a lot of red on this screen, though. And there also is a lot of red on our tactics screen, because good news, Mark is back. Bad news, Abbasi still coming back from injury, and Zorin unavailable for today's game. I feel like maybe I didn't make enough of the fact that last game we were without Mark. I know it's kind of a bit of a meme at this point, and he's a bit of a jack of all trades, master of none. But when you look at his average rating, it's inarguable. As that kind of inverted wing-back, he is kind of important to provide that balance in the centre of the midfield where we do like to overcommit men going forward. Obviously, he's back today, which is good. Obviously, Abbasi's out. Zorin is out as well. It does mean that Mortazavi is going to come in and play on the right-hand side. I am going to play him as a winger. I've always played him inverted, but Zorin has inspired me that maybe I should give wingers a chance. And to be fair, as a winger, he's not too shabby. Obviously, Abbasi was unavailable for last game anyway, so there's nothing too new going on there. Sultani, we are going to bring in, and then it's Al Asaf onto the bench again. In terms of the team, it's a good team. Is it a team capable of dispatching of Tractor? Well, we're about to find out. This is, of course, a local derby. It's a local derby which I think we've got the advantage over in the last few meetings. In fact, I think we've beaten them maybe twice in the last 3 games. I think earlier on this year we drew. It is worth noting, ourselves, Zobahan and Tractor, have only actually lost a game each. Yeah, it is crazy. At the top of the table, we've drawn against each other and had these narrow results, but there's only 4 points separating the teams. Granted, at least right now, we do have the better goal difference. That could end up actually being really important. Okay, Big Larry with a throw-in on the far side. He is going to give it to Hani, who, well, hopefully his head is in the game, despite the offers we've had for him in the transfer window. Going to lay the ball back to Garibi at centre-back. Back to Mark. Like I said, we've missed him in the midfield with how we like to play. He's very, very important to our build-up play. Admittedly there, he's falling under the spotlight and made me look like an idiot, hasn't he, with that misplaced pass. He's given them possession. Tractor now looking to get it forward. Mark, get your head in the game. What is he doing? Jafari's bringing it forward. Don't give away a penalty now. We've got players back, but it's still dangerous. It's still a problem. It deflects off Karga and ends up in the back of the net. I mean, an own goal inside 10 minutes when it comes to a pivotal must-win game in our quest to keep in touching distance as Zobahan is not optimal. He has actually headed that on purpose as well. That was, I think, their first shot on target, if indeed that was a shot on target. So whilst it isn't great, I'm not going to, panic overly too much. It's come not against the run of play, but not really reflective of the run of play. And, well, maybe we can respond immediately. Gudazi inside. I don't know if that was a shot or a cross. In the end, it was not a good version of either. Right, you know what? We're a goal down. Let's shout some encouragement. We're away from home. We're on the road. I've done a shout and all the green smiley faces have arrived. There is a highlight, however, and they've got possession. So I feel like, despite the fact I've done the right shout, maybe, as some kind of cause and effect, I've actually indirectly caused them to score immediately. Let's not look at it like that. Let's look at the positives. We could catch them on the counter here. We're bringing it forward. Hani drifting into the wide area as that attacking midfielder. No one really in support. He's got a lot to do here. He picks out Sultani superbly. Niamsi, oh my word, he's hit the post there, the defensive midfielder. I was about to get really cross with him for having the shot, but it's actually ended up so close, it's hard to be mad. Admittedly, they've dealt with it, and there's a long throw-in setup, which is always a bit scary. Core gives it back to Jafari for them. Back post, Maradi headers it, hits the woodwork, get up, Haydari. That looked very glitchy, didn't it, the way he picked that up? I'm not going to complain. We live to fight another day, and by another day, I mean 10 seconds later, there's literally another highlight. What is happening in this game? It is all action, it is bombastic, and well, it's them on the attack. Jallo inside. Oh my word. Big Larry's been caught out of position. Now the centre-back covers, but now there's a man over, and Karga, he scored the own goal, and now he's given away a penalty. It's an absolute disaster class for the centre-back. And now, well, I'm looking at Haydari thinking, mate, I need you to save us here. We need a save. He goes the right way. He can't stop it. And it is now 2-0. Do I sub off Karga? That is genuinely what I'm wondering right now. He's given away the penalty. He scored the own goal. I'm going to shout encouragement at the players to try and get their kind of heads back up. They've still only had 2 shots on target in this game. A penalty and a shot that deflected and was headed in by our own player. It's been a harsh game, it feels like. Granted, we've not created enough of our own in this one here. Just before the break, this could be a pivotal moment. If they get a 3rd goal, it's game over, isn't it? It's good game, go next. If we get 1 goal back, though, maybe I'll start to believe. Maybe it makes my team talk at halftime a little bit easier. Karga, please don't mess up, mate. Gives it back to Mark. Wide to Mortasavi. He tries to play inside to Hani. It falls to Gorbanpour, whose shot only just goes over, but it wasn't a great opportunity. And I think that's indicative of a first half where, well, let's be frank, we've created stuff, but not nearly enough of quality. You've been terrible so far. Sort it out. Karga is anxious and on a yellow card. I can't run that risk. The issue is the only man I can bring on is Musavi, and that would be reuniting Tweedledee with Tweedledum at the back. Our 2 slow centre-backs, but I don't really think there's a better option right now, in all honesty. In terms of changing things up in this second half, I'm going to go to attacking. I'm going to encourage the players to be a bit more direct in their play. And I do feel like we've got some good dribblers in our team, so we're going to try and run at their defence a little bit more in this second half. We've got to upset them. We've struggled to create stuff in this game by trying to pass it into the final third. Sometimes you need a player to take the ball, seize the initiative, and just attack the defence, and that will create openings and space for other players. That's what I'm going to hope we see here, as Hani is doing exactly what I want to see him do, bar that long shot. Less long shots, please. We've had 6 shots to their 7, but the XG really kind of gives you an idea of how things have gone here. There's only half an hour left in this game. I'm going to make some changes. Alasaf, I'm bringing on for Sultani, who's picked up an injury. Big Larry is in danger of being booked. Mokhtari, on you come. In the wider area, Gudazi's not been good in today's game. I'm going to bring in Eslami, the youngster with a fishy polygon. Look at that. That is a fine cod, or maybe a tuna polygon. Let me know what fish it is. We're going to bring him on the left-hand side, cutting in on his right foot. Gorbanpour's not been good in this game either. You know what? Yaramadi, on you come. Alasaf. Time for you to play as the advanced playmaker. Playing a little bit more attacking. We're going to leave ourselves open. We've got to try and mix things up a little bit in what remains here. There's going to come a point where I consider pushing Hani to play as a second striker. And it's probably going to be at the 15-minute mark, which we've hit a lot more abruptly than I really wanted to see us hit there. I'm going to play Hani actually on the left-hand side with Yaramadi on the right as an advance forward. I feel like the inverted winger here probably interfaces better with Hani, who I am actually going to play as a false 9. He will still hopefully stitch together the attack and the defence. And in transition now, get rid of roll it out, get it to the flanks quickly. We need just to be a little bit more direct in our play. Encourage the players, get some green, happy, smiley faces, try and get 1 goal back. A draw at this point would feel like we've rescued something monumental, but it is a long way away from being done. I don't know if that was a shot or a deflection off Hani. He's diverted it goalwards and it's gone wide. And I fear with that there, that is the game just done. There's 3 minutes left. I need a miracle. They have got a corner. And to be frank, I don't feel like we've been that awful in this game, but the stats tell a pretty grim picture. We've not created enough in this game. They've just hit the woodwork. And, I mean, a deflected own goal, a penalty. There's a throw-in on the near side. If we get 1 back, I will suddenly dream and dare to believe. We've got the ability to score in this kind of game from nowhere. We've shown some real fight as a team over the years. Can we turn back the clock and have some vintage Estiglal here? We need to have it now. Mokhtari, Eslami, with the tuna polygon. Niamsi, Mokhtari, lovely build-up play here, but we need to get it into the middle. Mokhtari, players to aim for. Niamsi, Alasaf, from range, lays it to Mark. Mark can't get a shot away, and now we're going to get hit on the counter, aren't we? I know how this ends. I've seen this before. We throw men forward to chase a game. Gadriel puts into the top corner, and that is just a mad finish. That might be Zobahan vanishing ahead. If I want to try and find a crumb of comfort, I have now, beyond the halfway point, played the 2 hardest games in the second half of the season. Is that a positive? I mean, maybe. I'm done playing against the teams in second and third, but I really needed results here. And just as I think the game's done, my suffering is over, we're going to get to watch some more here. Are they going to get another back? Are they going to ruin my goal difference single-handedly? Garibi inside, Al-Asaf, Niamsi, Dinks. I mean, look at that. It's beautiful play. Islami. It's a lovely goal. But it's too late. I like the fact he's picking the ball out. We need 2 goals in 2 minutes. I'm not watching the replay. It's just going to make me sad watching us score and it all be in vain. It finishes here 3-1. The only thing that could cheer me up now is if Zobahan have somehow slipped up. But that does feel rather unlikely at this point. They took on Malavan. They only won 3-1. They were losing for half an hour. It's not great, is it? If Pi can win their game in hand, they're suddenly only a point behind us as well. Now, as I already mentioned, if I want to find a positive here, I've just had to play the teams in, well, first and third now, away from home. Those games are done. The remainder of these games, I'd like to think we can win. If you rewind the clock to the start of the year, Tractor and Zobahan were games that we didn't win, and from there, we stitched together some good results. My fear is that if Zobahan and Pi can improve in the January transfer window, we are going to be in trouble. Obviously, Zoran being unavailable for that last game was a kick in the gonads. He's got 15 assists. He's leading the top assists and top ratings. That clearly was an issue in that most recent game, wasn't it? And we were without Abassi. So maybe once he's back, and I don't know if he'll be back in 7 days, but once he's back, maybe we can find our groove. Our next games, by the way, against the team in 15th. After that, we take on the team currently in 10th. Then Naft, who are down in 14th. There's an opportunity here to get some wins. The transfer window is about to open. Like I said, I'm going to play through the entire window now and come back at the end of things, which will be after the Pycan game. Following on from that, we should have a pretty good idea of where the season's heading. You know what? I wasn't planning to do today as a triple header. Let's do it as a triple header. It's deadline day. Nothing has happened in terms of transfers, but in terms of the league title race, maybe things are spicing up slightly. Zobahan slipped up. They drew a game. And I'll be honest, when I looked at their upcoming games, I thought the game against Tractor might be a game they would slip up in. Sadly for us, Tractor couldn't get the job done. They were beaten 2-1 rather handsomely. But in the very next game, you can see here against Sepahan, who are down in 5th, actually they're quite high in the table now, they could only draw, which is a massive, massive result as far as we're concerned. I do wonder if this is to do with just maybe fixture pile up a little bit, because they're also in the Asian Champions League taking on Al Ain, where they drew the first leg here. So points dropped by them. We have continued to win, albeit some easier games. But of course, if we were to slip up today against Pycan, Zobahan would move 6 points clear with 8 games left. And at that point, it does feel like a pretty tough deficit to cut. I have just noticed here, actually, Zobahan are currently 2-0 up against El Modab. El Modab, please sort it out. And then against Naft, this happened. 10-2. Yeah, Gorbanpour got a double hat-trick. It makes him now the top goal scorer in the league. Obviously, games that we should expect to win. Nevertheless, good to win them rather handsomely. And we are slowly but surely getting players back to full fitness. Obviously, we need to beat Pycan away from home here. If we lose this game, I think irrespective of what happens for Zobahan, they will just run away with the league. Now, in terms of team news, a load of my players are away on international duty with the youth team of Iran, including Karga. So yeah, Karga unavailable for today's game at centre-back. That is an issue because Garibi and Musavi just have to play together at centre-back, which I really, really don't like. Elsewhere, Abassi still slowly but surely coming back from injury. No fitness test required, but that hamstring strain has been a more significant injury than perhaps I thought it would be. The rest of the team, though, is at full strength. We need to win here against Pycan away. If we lose a third match in this episode in a row, the season's just over, isn't it? I know I talk about feeding the YouTube algorithm a lot. I was not planning on doing a triple header today, so if you want to help me out, because it is a longer video which can put people off sometimes, go down below, interact with the video. I've discussed it a lot lately. During this kind of dead period of Football Manager where we've not had a new game in, well, Lord knows how long at this point, any interaction you do give the video does make a massive difference. Anyway, Pycan here somehow have a smaller stadium than Zob Ahan. It's really funny how in Iran here we've had two clubs have tycoon takeovers, and they're two of the kind of not traditional big teams in Iran, and as a result of that, they have all this money, they have these superstar teams, but these sheds of stadiums. I'm sure in real life the stadiums of Iran look just like this, with ambulances, with, well, what else is going on? Gazebos and brick walls. This is exactly what Iran looks like. Who needs away days in Street View when you can just look at the 3D match engine? Anyway, the camera angle feels kind of weird here, and concerning for me, while I'm getting distracted by what's going on off the pitch, they're creating an opportunity and scoring a sensational team goal inside 2 minutes. I've just rambled away. They've scored a blinder there, haven't they? They knocked around the ball with confidence. They are only leaving 2 players back. I guess they are, you know, committing forward both wing backs. Maybe they've got a reason to do that because it's worked there. It's now 1-0, 2 minutes in. Yikes. They are playing this 4-4-2. I've made this change a lot when we've come up against this system. Play the ball into space, focus the play through the middle. I'm also actually going to turn on dribble more here. Really want to try and mismatch their 2 men in the middle of the midfield if we can. And well, the good news is, having conceded almost immediately, we've weathered the storm. I say that as they have now a corner. Maybe I've spoken too soon. I felt like having conceded one in the second minute, maybe the floodgates would open. They've not found a breakthrough immediately. We do need to play better here. Let's shout some encouragement at the players. As well, Addons looks to launch it forward. My shout has not yet gone through, for what it's worth. Zorin has picked up. He's charging through the middle. And while the right winger, a little ambitious there. Niamsi in the CDM position, picking up a booking inside 30 minutes. Do not like that. Zorin, could he get onto the loose ball? He can. He has to turn on the afterburners now and run. He's a little isolated. No one in support. Pulls it back superbly. Gudazi has a shot. Hani is bundled down, and that is a penalty from absolutely nowhere. Mark, my son, with your 3 penalty taking now, it's gone up 2 over the last 7 years. Can he score here? He can. That comes a little against the run of play. I'm not going to complain. It's his 6th goal of the year. And we're back in it. Must-win game, loads of pressure. I wish I could say I had full faith in him. I didn't, but he has scored. Oh, Gudazi picks up an injury. That's not good. Right, well, Mortazavi, who's had a lot of interest in him in January, we've turned it all down. You are going to have to come in and play as the inverted winger, my friend. Couple of minutes left at the end of this first half. I am going to hope that injury is not too serious, because I'll be honest, I really like our wide midfield setup. The fact we scored 10 goals last game suggests that something we're doing in the final third is indeed working. Going to try and encourage the players here a little bit. Gorbanpour is looking nervous. We've managed to inspire him. I've only got 2 further stoppages because of that early change. I'm going to make a sub here. I'm going to bring in Vasey at defensive midfielder. Lately, I have been going back to Niamsi at the back because I do think, I don't know, he's a bit of a stronger defensive option. But I can't risk going down a man. I don't want to waste a stoppage shortly into this half to sub off the defensive mid. So we'll make the change here and hope it works wonders. Into the start of this second half we march, where immediately there's a chance. Hani just off the boil there. Almost had enough pace to catch onto that loose ball, but it has, sadly for us, amounted to nothing. And now, well, they're looking to bring it forward. Pycan knew this was going to be a tough game at the start of the year. So far, we're going blow to blow with them. But I've said that a lot in, well, recent episodes, and then we've not managed to get wins when we desperately need them. We need a change in fortunes here. Zorin, the right winger, whips it in. Gorbanpour was nearly there. It falls to Vasey. Hani, Vasey, battles away, wins it back. Oh my word, it's deflected in. It's deflected in. He's been on the pitch a minute. It's not his goal, but he has made it happen. You know what? We were unlucky last game with that deflected own goal, weren't we? Vasey, Hani, Vasey, the bravery to battle away and bring it forward. He shoots. The keeper's caught completely off guard. We are ahead. Gonna shout some praise at the players immediately here. Give me green, happy, smiley faces. There's not enough smiley faces here. It's an hour on the clock, just about, and well, we've got a chance here, maybe in the corner. Zorin, Mark, Abassi, working the ball nicely in the middle. Vasey gets there, but doesn't win the ball cleanly, and now Amani has it for them, looking to hit us on the counter. This is where we could look vulnerable. Amani in behind shoots. That was not far wide. I just want to rewind for a moment. Can we discuss the transition here of our attacking midfielders? Now, I'll fully admit, at this point here, we have overcommitted, right? But in this position here, there's one man breaking free. We've got 2 players goal side. Watch how slowly my players track back here. Just across the board. And look how quickly their centre mids charge forward. That is a little bit scary. Fortunately, the shot goes wide, so it's fine. Ah, that is less than fine. Hani has got injured. Right. Oh, I hope that's not serious. 2 of our most important players getting injured. That is a concern. Are we about to win, but at a significant cost? I mean, I say that. We might not even win just yet. I'm going to move Abassi forward. Sultani is going to drop into centre mid. Oh, Yaramadi, you know what? On for Gorbanpour here. Need fresh legs, I think, in the final third. 30 minutes remaining here. I'm going to praise the players, try and get some smiley faces, something going in this game. I think on the balance of play, we're a bit fortunate to be ahead. The XG, of course, for us inflated via that penalty, but we've kept them quiet for the most part. That said, they're on the attack. They have quality. They've punished us before. Haydari. I'd be lying if I was to say I had absolute confidence in him to win the ball there, but he has plucked it out really, really nicely. And now he's going to... well, try and play the ball forward. It's not a great ball forward, but Sultani wins it nicely. Vasey, Abassi, Yaramadi, fresh on the pitch. Yaramadi, the live commentary hero, does it again. I'm sure it's not entirely on the tweaks that we made tactically at 1-0 down, but we've changed some stuff up, looked to run at the defence more, play in space, focus the play through the middle. It is working wonders. I mean, at this point, I'm delighted we're winning what is undoubtedly our toughest game of this run of remaining games. We are now going to have played against the elite in Iran and kind of wrapped up our difficult run-in, period, I suppose, around this January, February mark. Okay, for a moment I was thinking I was celebrating too soon. That shot's gone over. I'm going to praise the players and hope the corner amounts to nothing. What I was going to say is, like, we're doing well here. We look like we're going to win this game, he says, with 10 minutes left as they head it over. I'm a bit worried it's coming at a cost with these injuries on the left-hand side. Okay, 1 minute left in this game, 5 minutes of added time. I think we're going to win this. They have the better XG. That does not matter. We have grinded out a win here. Mark, man of the match. That inspirational penalty, maybe a pivotal moment. If he'd missed that, probably don't come back in this game. We win. Zobahan did also win against Elmo Adab. So the gap remains at 3 points, but suddenly Pycam we've pulled ahead of, and Tractor, I didn't really mention it earlier, despite the fact they managed to beat us, they've lost against Malavan and Zobahan in the resulting games. They are now really, really far off the pace down in 4th. Hani's out for 4 to 5 weeks. Gudazi's out for 7 to 8 weeks. Yikes. And with those recent results, such as the one today and the 10-2 result, we do now have the goal difference advantage over Zobahan. I mean, I still need them to slip up. I'm going to be hate-watching their end to the season, aren't I? Who have they got left to play? I mean, Pycam they play near the end of the year. Aluminum Iraq as well, or Aluminium Iraq. I've committed a sin there. They're down in 9th. Full Ladder in 6th. I'll be honest. They've got some pretty difficult games in here. I kind of want them to go through in the Asian Champions League. They drew the first leg. If they win the second leg against Alain away from home, a few more games to distract them might be quite useful. Anyway, today's episode has been way longer than I actually planned on it being, but I hope you've enjoyed it. We've covered a load of Football Manager in today's video. The transfer window, I should point out, is about to close. I'm not even going to continue the last couple of days because nothing is going to happen. There is no money to spend. I truly believe that we can win 7 of the last 8 games of the year, being realistic. I mean, theoretically, maybe we could win them all because they're not difficult games, but without Zobahan slipping up, we're never going to catch them. Will they slip up? Will we have something to play for at the end of the year? Come back next time to find out. Today's video has been longer. If you made it to the end of things, let me know, what did you have for breakfast today down in the comments. It just lets me know that triple headers are worth my time. If people don't get to the end of the videos and let me know their favourite breakfast, why am I talking for 3 matches in a row? I mean, I know why. Because I love Football Manager. And if you got to the end, you probably enjoyed it too. We will be back next time out to end the season. Hopefully you guys are excited for it. Hopefully we can push Zobahan to the end. Otherwise, tomorrow's going to be anticlimactic. Come back tomorrow to find out how it goes. It's me, Jack, and I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.